Well, markets bouncing back today following Friday's big sell-off, but the Chartmaster says don't get too excited. Let's get to Carter Worth of Worth Charting to break down some key levels. Hey, Carter.
How are you? So, I mean, before we look at a few tables, a few charts, at the end of the day, it was a very defensive day. Despite the headline gain in the S&P, we know that only 4 sectors outperformed the market, and they were all defensive. Utilities, REITs, of course, tech, and it just smacks of something unconvincing. The Russell down on the day and so forth. Let's look at a table or two and then 2 charts. The first is just a one-item table, and you can see it right here on your screen. We know that the S&P 500 from the peak on Monday to just Friday's lows down 3.4%. And so looking at that drawdown, if you were to try to put that in the context of all drawdowns since the COVID low, so let's just do that, meaning remove my opinion, your opinion, everyone's opinion. There have been 17 instances since the March 23rd, 2020 COVID low where the market has declined 3% or more. Call it a dip, call it a correction, sell-off, drawdown, doesn't matter. And this one is yet another. It's the 17th, down 3.4%. And if you look at the median and mean drawdown, it's closer to 6%. And so the question is, at this point, could we possibly be done with a sell-off? Again, a very defensive day. If you look at the charts on the screen, we've retraced exactly 50% of the drop, and we faltered right at that level. And my hunch is that it's just not going to escape as easily as down 3.5% over the course of a few sessions and on to new highs. And the damage done, of course, in value, which continues to struggle, in small caps, all of it, it's so dependent, as you all were saying, on a handful of names. And so while those names do drive the market, they are exceedingly defensive.
So, Carter, what's your projection for the rest of the year? I mean, seasonally, we usually see gains, but your chart work seems to indicate that that might have some trouble happening this year, materializing.
Right. So in the sense that givebacks are part of any uptrend, the give back, I don't think, is concluded. And the ferocity of the selling and the feeble nature of the bounce would suggest that the path higher, if one thinks that's what's coming seasonally or not, passes through a lower price. And so I think one is right to fade a lot of the ricochets in today's market.
All right. Carter, thanks. Good to see you. Carter Braxton Worth of Worth Charting. Feeble. I like that word. That's a good one. So, Guy, would you fade this bounce?
It's funny. You like the word feeble, you come to me. I mean, if that's not, you know, Pavlovian or something, or Freudian, I can.
Anyway, what's your opinion?
Of course it is. No, listen, I tell you, Carter always brings up great points. The one thing I led with, and he mentioned, is the fact that the Russell, maybe he did have that failed breakout in the IWM. I thought we absolutely were off to the races when we broke that sort of 230-ish level. Now here we are back below it. The line in the sand becomes 215, which has been support for a while. So if it's going to be feeble, it's going to be predicated on how this IWM trades. 215 is the level you have to watch.
Ferocity was also a good word that Carter used, and I'll go to Karen. Gains to the end of the year.
Okay. What did you? I'm sorry. What was the question?
Will we see gains to the end of the year?
Karen.
The Santa Claus. Yeah. Will we see the Santa Claus rally?
Yeah. I mean, I think that I agree with Carter that down is the way to get to up. So wasn't looking to buy today. I feel like there's a little more rocky road ahead. We'll see what we hear from the, Powell. Maybe that will do something to the market. I'm not selling anything. I want to buy things, but I do feel like there's a little bit of a rocky road to come. And so I want to wait for that. And then also I do think there will be some pressure, some tax loss selling to the extent people have any losses at the very end of the year.